Roger Dyson. Why don't you start by telling us a little about yourself, like your name, your age, and the community where you live?
My name is Roger Dyson. I'm 80 years old, Mama. You can tell. And I live in the Ellendale community.
Okay.
And have lived in there most of my life.
Is there anything you want to say before we get started?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not a hero. My brother Flake is the hero. He was shot down after making 29 missions over Germany and was prisoner of war and lost his left eye. And he is my hero. And I'm not a hero. Okay?
When you served, were you drafted or volunteered?
I was drafted, but I joined the Navy.
Okay. Prior to service, what was your occupation?
Upholsterer. Sorriest thing around.
Were you married before, during, or after your service?
Well, after.
After. What were your years of service and the date you entered or discharged?
I entered the 26th day of November 1951 into the Navy in Raleigh and went to California, San Diego, and was in boot camp 14 weeks, believe me, and that's too much. Okay.
What was the highest rank that you ever attained?
Electronics, electric, third class, petty officer.
What other bases, were you stationed at any other bases besides that one?
Well, I was in, I wasn't stationed in, well I was, I better tell the truth. I went to, out of San Diego, I went to Great Lakes, Illinois, and went to electrician's mate school.
Were you assigned to any ships?
Yes, I was. The best one on the sea, the USS General H.W. Butner, TAP 113.
Did you make any friends while you were in service?
I made plenty of them.
Did you keep in contact with any of them?
Plenty. Several.
Several of them?
Several.
Do you still keep in contact today, or did it, as it's
They're
slowed?
dying out on me.
Are they?
I got one that lives up in, I call it, it's below Hendersonville. It's out on South Carolina line. What's the name of it, Glenda? Tuxedo Junction. That's what I call it. It's good. He's a good. He married a girl from Bethlehem. Bowman. I married a Bowman, and we both worked for General Electric. I've answered one of your questions.
Do you remember any of your superior officers, and if so, why?
Well, some of them I remember good, and some of them I remember. I've tried to not remember.
Tried to forget.
No, I'll be honest with you. I had very few people over me that I didn't like. If you did your job, they take care of you.
Did you serve stateside, overseas, or a little of both?
What about on the North Atlantic? What about 60-some crossings? Would that serve you?
Yep.
Okay.
If wartime, which wars were you in? War or wars?
I was drafted, and like I said, I joined the Navy. I was in the Korean War. I'm considered a veteran of Korean War, but I didn't serve in Korea.
Relate skirmishes or battles you were involved in?
Wasn't in.
Wasn't in none?
No.
Okay. What weapons were you assigned or special equipment that you might have used?
I can tell you what my ship had on it.
Okay.
3 5-inch guns, about 8 twin millimeters aircraft, and about the same 20 millimeters.
What poor conditions or hardships did you face in service?
Atlantic in the wintertime.
Is that about it?
Yeah.
The cold weather?
Well, no, the ups and downs.
Oh.
We hauled, let me explain you what we did.
Okay.
The reason we made so many trips, okay? We was hauling troops to Germany and back, and there was 11 people from Alexander County that I met on my ship, and nobody else ever did meet anybody. And oh shucks, I done lost my. Anyway.
So you took troops back and forth to Germany?
We took troops. We took their wives. We took their babies. We took the lieutenants and the bigger guys. And we took the representatives that wanted a free ride to Germany, and the congressmen. And
So you met a lot of people.
yeah, I met a lot of people. Sure did.
Were you in any hairy situations or close calls?
Well, I was an electrician on the ship, and several times we had 4 generators, big generators, and we just run 3 of them. We needed 3, and we would change them out, and the tricky part was we was at sea, and we'd have to change them out, and you had headsets on in the head, and you was talking to the man in the other. We had 2 engine rooms, and you was talking to somebody you didn't see him, and he, we was talking to one another. We was telling each other what to do, and several times we lost the load, what they call losing the load. We didn't have no electricity. The ship just stopped, and all the lights was out. It got so quiet you could hear a mouse run, and then it took about an hour and a half to get her jumped back on.
How did you handle being away from your family and friends while in service?
I got used to it. I was old. I was 19 and a half.
Yeah, you dealt with it the best you could. Did faith play a part in helping you cope with your time in service?
Yes, it did.
What did you do for fun or during your leave?
You don't want to know all of it. I was in Germany, in New York. Staten Island, New York was our home port. And we was about 5 miles over to, I saw a lot of baseball. Went to the Brooklyn, free. Wear that uniform, free. Went to the Yankees because that was the team I liked the best.
Yeah.
And I don't like them the best now, Braves now. But anyway, it cost a quarter. And the Giants was right over from them. They was all 3 in New York at that time. And I went to the Giants one time, and that was enough. I saw Mickey Mantle play, and Yogi Berra and a lot of them.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Did you receive any awards, medals, or commendation?
Yes.
Do you have photos, uniforms, or mementos from your time in service?
Yes, I do.
What has your occupation been since leaving the service?
Well, I worked, I upholstered 10 years at Comfort Chair, and then I went to a box factory, and that wasn't working. And General Electric, I'd put my name in 3 years earlier, but they didn't call me. And I was after they got me, they was real proud they had me.
Yeah.
And I worked for there 26 years.
Were any of your family members or ancestors in service?
Flake,
Is that the only
Flake,
one?
my brother, and Phil Bowman. Phil Bowman was a hero too. He got shot out in a helicopter twice, I think. And Gary Dyson, he got wounded friendly fire. There ain't no such thing. Don't let nobody kid you.
Yeah.
Ain't no such thing as friendly fire.
Are those?
That means his buddy
Yeah.
shot him. He wasn't laying close enough to the stump.
If applicable, name your siblings, spouse, children, and grandchildren.
My what?
Spouse, children, grandchildren, and your siblings.
I've only got 5 left, but I'll name them all.
Okay.
Okay. My wife is Glenda. Glenda Faye Bowman, she was. And the boy I told you about living in the far country up here, he married a Bowman. He worked for General Electric too. Also, our lives was together. And she was from Bethlehem. He met her while he was on leave. And what else was that?
Do you have any other siblings besides Flake? Did you have any other ones?
Yes.
Do you mind to name them?
I won't name my children.
Okay, you can name them too.
You asked me to.
Okay.
Didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tammy, Christine, Darlene, Annette, Lori, Ann, and Ty, Roger, my children.
Mm-hmm.
My grandchildren is, you want to help me out? Barbara and Jeb Inman, and Lindsay, what's her last name now? Stuckey.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got a prettiest little almost 2-year-old granddaughter. That's my great-granddaughter. And she called me the other day, and I'd never heard her talk. She don't talk. She's almost 2 years old. And somebody let her in the house one Sunday. She's cold. It was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And she had her coat on, and somebody just opened the door. They knew I was in the house, I guess. And she walked over there to me. Walked over there and saw me, and she said, "Papaw." Oh, that tickled me. And she come to me, run to me, and I picked her up, and she wanted her coat took off. That's what she wanted. And, okay, we ain't even halfway started, have we?
Chelsea.
Chelsea and Abby. Abby's going to get married,
Mm-hmm.
and soon. And Chelsea Watts
Mm-hmm.
and Johnny, my son.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Inman is the son-in-law. And Tammy and Bob. What?
David, Adam, and Noah.
Shear. He's a Jewish boy. Okay. Did you hear that? And did they hear it?
Do you want to just say it again?
Yes. Tammy and Bob Shear.
Mm-hmm.
And David and Adam and Noah Shear, and they live in Connecticut. Oh shucks, Burnapart, Maryland.
Are you active in any veteran organizations?
I belong to the VFW.
And what would you say to youth today interested in joining the armed forces?
Today,
Mm-hmm.
I'd stay out of it.
Would you?
I'd stay out of it.
Well, it's been great having you with us. Thank you for your time. I see that you brought some mementos with us. Would you like to tell us a little bit about them?
This is when we finished our boot camp,
Mm-hmm.
and this was my, where's my good guy at? My leader. He's on there.
Is he?
You see him? He's got a different cap on.
Is this one him right here?
Yes.
Is that your leader?
Yeah, he was a good guy. Very good.
And now what is this picture?
This is when I graduated from electricians in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
I'll brag a little bit here, okay? Had an 8th grade education, and that's all. And I went to, first to the AC and the DC part. It's 3 weeks each part. It's 12-week school. It's Great Lakes, Illinois, is where it was at. And I went into the math,
Mm-hmm.
and very first time was 20 of us, and we sat and had desks like schools, and you had to raise your hand and everything, just like you was in school, like in 2nd grade. And anyway, he called my name. He said, "Dyson," and I raised my head. He said, "Come up here a minute," and he wasn't trying to show me up.
Mm-hmm.
And I got up there and he talked real low. He said, "Do you realize you're the only one that don't have a high school education?" He says, "I've got people of a lot of college, use them slide roofs." And there wasn't anything like the little things where you could add up and subtract and stuff like that then. And he said, "But I'll tell you what I'm going to do." He says, "You've done good up to this point. did real good in boot camp.
Mhm.
I was right there with the top of him. Anyway, he says, "This ain't going to mean a thing. You're not going to need a bit of this." You know, he says, "I'll tell you what I'll do." He says, "You stay awake and you listen and you get all you can, you know,
Mhm.
and I'll get you through this and send you won't have more trouble in the next ones." So he did exactly what he said he did. I don't know how. I don't have no imagination. I'd hate to see that score.
Yeah.
But I went, and the next time I, went on through, know.
And then you graduated.
Graduated with them, yeah. Went aboard ship as an electrician. That was important, too, because you would have been a swabby if you hadn't paint chipper. Okay, this is Athens, where the big 2,000-year-old thing is still standing, and that was one of my buddies.
Okay.
He was a character, that boy was, and I think we got a boy from. I think my buddy's on there. I think right there. I think,
Mhm.
and that's me, and this boy here I think is from Hickory, a Fry. Stanley Fry. Now, not the preacher. He definitely was not the preacher.
Now, where was this picture at?
This is on
the ship?
On the ship, yes. This is Pompeii, and that's Mount Vesuvius back there. That's the same building that we saw
In
a
Athens.
minute ago. Yeah, that's me and Shirley Bumgarner's brother, Dave Deal,
Okay.
and he was on the ship. He was one. Her brother was on the ship, and like I said, I had about 11 on the ship, and anyway. I was in open house or up at the home place, that big house they built, and I went there, and this guy come in. He said, "You Roger Dyson?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I was on your ship." I don't remember him, but I had a lot of them on the ship.
From Alexander County.
And them boys said, "How big is that place?" And I said, "It's just a little place." I said, "Everybody's patriotic." Oh, Lord. I hope you don't show this.
And these?
This is, that's where Michelangelo done his work, I guess. That's, what, I got it over there. I can't read.
Was it Italy?
Yeah, it was in Italy.
The Florence or Naples?
Northern Italy, yes.
Okay. Are these in the same place?
This was going up there.
Mm-hmm.
There was 3 big Catholic churches here, and this was very close to. And in that museum, all the boys was hovered around this one woman, and I didn't know her from Adam, and you won't know her. You won't know her. She knows her, maybe. Eve Arden. You've heard of Eve Arden? Our Miss Brooks. I got her autograph on my cap. That's all I had. Had it washed. A smart one.
Now this one?
This is I think that's the first port I went
Mhm.
in Naples. Okay, that's the ship. 675 feet long, 76 feet wide, 19,000. More than that. It had to be more than that.
Mhm.
Anyway, it wasn't as heavy as it looked because it was made to haul people
Mhm.
in. And that, I don't like that picture because my hair was just starting to grow out.
But that's you when you were in service,
Yes,
and then that's
that's the same thing we saw over there. Okay.